Well, howdy friends, Brian Flechsig of Mad River Outfitters and the Midwest Fly Fishing Schools, and welcome back to another one of our Q&A series. As always, friends, we appreciate the loads and loads of questions that we get. Make sure you send them to admin@madriveroutfitters.com. We typically communicate via email or by the telephone. I know, we're kind of old-fashioned. Anyways, we appreciate it, and we're getting to them as quick as we can. And if we answer your question here on the YouTube channel, we'll send you out a free Mad River Outfitters hat and fly box as a token of our appreciation. So let's jump right in today. And Josh Shingleton. Josh doesn't tell me where he's from and didn't give me an address. So Josh, if you're out there and you see this, send us your address. We'll send you that hat in a fly box. Anyway, Josh says, hey team, I grew up fishing with my dad, grandpa, and great-grandpa. Many hours and days were spent on the North River in Hampshire County, West Virginia. Rooster tails and micro zebcos is what I was raised on. Can't go wrong with those. Anyways, I've always wanted to try fly fishing. I spent a few weeks out west and saw some folks using the fly rod and reel. Came back home to Kentucky, there we go, and brought a very entry-level rod and reel, and I'm having a blast. Glad to hear it, Josh, and thanks for watching. On to my question, though. What should I look into for waders? Should I get a pair that are stocking foots and then buy the boot, or should I look at the style with the rubber boot attached? I've watched all your videos. Thanks for the insight and conversations around fly fishing. Well, Josh, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it and glad we're helping. I want to jump right ahead because we've got a similar question from Gray Barrett in Houston, Texas. Gray says, I'm just getting into the sport of fly fishing. I'm wondering if you should buy unattached, separate wading boots or boots attached to your waders. Thanks to you and keep up the good content. Okay, guys. First of all, what should you look for in waders? Well, you want them to be waterproof. Folks ask that question all the time. What do you get as you spend more money on a pair of waders? And first off, friends, I'll put this in writing. If you buy a pair of waders from us, from Mad River Outfitters, whether it's Sims or Orvis or Patagonia or Redington, the brands that we sell, I'll put it in writing that they're gonna leak. Hands down. Same with a fly rod. If you buy a fly rod from us, it's gonna break, okay? And it depends on how much money you spend may equate to how long before they leak, and then number two, what kind of service are you gonna get after they leak? Make sure you understand the warranties of the company, and make sure you buy a pair of waders from, first of all, somebody that knows what they're talking about and that's going to stand behind you when they leak or fail, which at some point they will. Then the more money you spend on waders, you're going to be buying comfort. They're going to be, for example, the more money you spend on a pair of waders, theoretically, they're going to be more breathable, and therefore they're going to keep you warmer in the winter, and they're going to keep you cooler in the summer. Your entry-level breathable waders might not be breathable, hardly breathable at all, and you're going to wind up sweating in the summer, and you're going to be cold in the winter. If that's all you can afford, go for it. We want you to fish. That's why we sell $99 waders here. But we also offer some more expensive options. So it's going to be basically comfort, durability, and then buying a pair of waders from a fly shop and from a reputable manufacturer, you're going to get good service. We hope. At least here at Mad River Outfitters you will. So then the next question, should I get a pair that's stocking foot and buy the boot, or should I look at the style with the rubber boot attached? And Gray had the same question. Most definitely. Stocking foot waders with the additional boots are by far the #1 selling and the most recommended. Stocking foot waders with additional boots over top are always going to fit best. The boot foot waders never fit right. Your foot's always moving around in there no matter what. Number two, stocking foot waders are much more comfortable, and the fact that their boot foot waders are typically heavy and clunky. If you're walking any great distances, you definitely want stocking foot waders. Another advantage of the stocking foot waders, if the boot does wear out or the felt wears out on the bottom or you wear out the rubber, you can replace the boots and not have to replace the waders. And then I would say last but not least, for travel purposes, stocking foot waders. I mean, you'd be amazed at how small a package they'll fit into. You put your boots in there. It doesn't weigh nearly as much as the boot foots. I mean, for the most part, you're not going to be traveling on an airplane with boot foot waders, okay? So stocking foots are definitely what you want there. Make sure that you wear the right things under those waders to help keep you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. So highly recommend stocking foot waders. The one thing you can say about boot foot waders is that they will be theoretically warmer. At least your foot will stay warmer in extreme cold conditions. But once again, we very rarely sell boot foot waders at all anymore these days. So Josh, send us your address and information. And Gray in Houston, hat and fly box on the way to you, man. We appreciate you being here. Next up is Henry Avila. He's from Colorado, from Erie, Colorado to be exact. I do a lot of spinning rod and reel fishing, and I'm getting into fly fishing. I've been watching your YouTube channel, and I've learned a lot. But I've been seeing that when fly fishing, when do you use the reel to reel the line up, or when do you use the hand to reel the line up? So, Henry, what you're asking is, when you have a fish on the line, when are you going to use the reel, and when are you going to use your hands? Well, that's really pretty simple. The fish is going to tell you. Of course, you've got the line under your index finger basically at all times. This is the crux of your control system. And whether you're fishing a dry fly and a nymph, or whether you're fishing a streamer or moving a popper or anything that you want to move, you're moving it from behind that index finger. Now, if the fish bites and starts running and he takes all that line, and now all that slack that you had here that you were shooting line from, it's all taken up and the fish is on the reel now. Well, take your hand away. Let the drag system on this reel, let the drag system do its job, okay? And then if the fish starts to slow up, then you're gonna reel. And then if he starts to run again, take your hand away and let the reel do its job, okay? So the fish is gonna tell you, if he takes off running, he takes up all that slack, you can let go with your index finger and don't touch the line. Let the reel do its job, reel when you can, let the drag system do its job when it needs to, and eventually you're gonna get the fish in, okay? Now, if that fish does not take up all the slack, you can certainly bring that fish in just using your fingers like this. Just be aware you're gonna have a bunch of slack down at your feet. Make sure you're not stepping on it or anything. So in case the fish does take off running, you don't want to get that line caught on anything. But if you're just catching bluegill or small trout or smaller type fish, bring it in with your fingers. Nothing wrong with that. Just keep the line under your index finger and strip from behind your index finger. You can hand the fish or net the fish, and no problem with that on the smaller fish. But once again, Henry, the fish is going to tell you, and if you put him on the reel, get your hands away and just reel when you can, and then you use the drag system when you can, okay? Hopefully that makes sense, and we appreciate you being here. And last but not least for today, Ethan Strobel from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Ethan says, "Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm from Newcastle, Pennsylvania. I really enjoy watching your videos and they are very informative. My question is, how often should I clean my fly line and how exactly do I clean it?" Ethan, great question. We've touched on this before, but I don't think I've actually ever shown this. But here's how you do it. You get yourself the Scientific Angler's fly line dressing with pad, of basically a cleaning kit, okay? And this comes with a bottle of the cleaner and dressing, and then it comes with a cleaning pad. So you get yourself this kit. By the way, they also sell the cleaning pads separately, and with as much teaching as I do, and with as many different outfits as I encounter with customers and clients, I'm cleaning fly lines all the time. So I've always got one of these pads in my right pocket so I can pull it out, because it makes an absolute difference. Not many people talk about this. In fact, we have people that come in the shop all the time and they say, hey, I think I need a new fly line. And you take a look at their line and it's all cracked. And then you ask and they say, yeah, the tip of the line is sinking. And then you ask how often they cleaned it, and they look at you like you're from Mars. Clean it? I've never once cleaned my fly line. It's really, really, really important to clean your fly line, and you should do it on a regular basis. Of course, it depends on how much you fish. If you fish once a month, you can clean it maybe once a month. But, you know, I don't want to say that I clean my fly line after every use. I probably don't do that, but it's after every 2 or 3 uses, that's for sure. It also depends on how dirty or scummy the water is that you're fishing. If you're fishing a really scummy pond, you want to for sure clean it before you put it away, okay? One other thing, Ethan, that you should do on a regular basis is you should stretch your fly line. You should go through periodically and you should stretch that line, which takes a lot of the coils out of it. Especially if your fly line has been on the reel for quite some time, that'll take a lot of the coils out of it. That line's going to shoot better. It's going to lay on the water better. It's going to lift off the water better and just behave a lot better for you. So stretch the fly line, and then you're going to take your fly line cleaning kit and you're going to basically take the, I don't always do the entire fly line. I do basically the head of the line or the weight forward part that I most often use, okay? But you take the fly line and you run it through the sandpaper side of the line. And I use a lot of force, and that kind of scours off, okay? And you can kind of see there on the pad, you're gonna have a black line from all the dirt and grit and grime that you're scouring off your fly line there, okay? And I'm squeezing it pretty hard to the point where I'm not burning my fingers, but close. And I run through at least the head of the line, and then 2 or 3 times a season I might clean the entire line, including the running line. But again, I just scoured off a bunch of dirt. And then you're gonna take a little bit of the solution, I squirt it on the pad, and now I'm going to run it through, liberally apply the cleaner and the lubricant.
Be sure to get a nice liberal coating on there.
And then I'll come over to a drier side of the pad and come through again and kind of buff that off. So it cleans and it lubricates. And after you do this, you're going to feel it. Oh, that's like butter. And it's going to shoot through your guides just like butter. You're going to be absolutely amazed at what a difference this makes in your casting and your fishing. The line is going to lay on the water better. It's going to float better. It's not going to spray water. I can't say enough about it. You should clean your fly line on a regular basis. And this Scientific Angler's Line Cleaning Kit, as of right now, it sells for $7.25. There's a link right down there below me where you can get yourself this cleaning kit and the cleaning pads sold separately, because I go through more of the pads than I do of the solution. So Scientific Angler's Line Cleaning Kit and Line Cleaning Pad. Do it often. Ethan, everybody watching, you should do it often. Check out madriveroutfitters.com. and you can get it there. Help us support what we do here for these videos. We really appreciate it. So as always, Ethan, hat in a fly box on its way to New Carlisle, Pennsylvania. We appreciate you being here. Be sure to subscribe, friends. That really helps us out. Like I said, go to Mad River Outfitters, check out what we do around here, and share a little bit of love so we can keep answering your questions. Appreciate you being here. Stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming at you. If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.